Hello, this is a short video demonstration of two ways of adding extra floors in Carbon Checker. So I'm going to start Carbon Checker, and here we have an existing drawing that I have of an open plan office area here, which is one zone, and then two other zones, possibly a toilet and a kitchen area, as might be typical in an office. If you want to see what these look like in 3 dimensions, and click the 3D tool, and a simple 3D representation of the zones comes up. So let's click OK there. And now we need to add another layer. So in going up to the project area here, right click, which now gives me the option to add a layer. I click on Add Layer, and then I select that layer so that it's the one that I'm editing in the two-dimensional view. I'm drawing a perfect rectangle, the shape of the floor below. So I click down in the right area and then drag across, and release when I've got the right dimensions. And here we see my zone height is 3 meters, and I have a 12 by 12 meter zone. Call that new zone, accept that, and click OK. And you'll see the zone comes up in red, and that's because it's on top of another zone, so there's a conflict. If you press the 3-dimensional button, you'll see that the new zone I've added isn't visible because it's on top of the existing zones and takes up the same space. So let's click OK to there. I'm now going to raise this zone up by first expanding next to layer 2 and clicking on the new zone. I'm now going to move down to Move Zone Precisely, and I'm going to shift one of the coordinates. The Z coordinate is the height, so let's change that. We know that the lower floor is 3 meters, so I need to move this by 3 meters higher. Click on OK. And now my zone goes green because there's no longer a conflict, and I can have a look and see indeed that one zone is now on top of the other, which looks a bit more doable. One last thing to do, I click OK, and then run an adjacency calculation so the Carbon Checker knows which floors and ceilings are the same. So that's one way to add a second story or second floor. Now let's have another look at a different way. I'm starting again with the same ground floor, going to right click and add a new layer, and then click on the layer again so that I can edit it in the 2D view. Again, I click and drag to get the size that I want over the top of the first area. And there we are, again 3 meters high and a 12 meter by 12 meter square zone. This time, before clicking OK, I'm going to rename this to call it second floor. And then click OK. Again, it's gone red because it conflicts with the existing layer. Carbon Checker defaults to a plan view in 2 dimensions. We're going to change that now so that we're looking from ground level at the side of the building. And here you can see a 3 meter high building, and it's 12 meters wide. I'm now going to use the Move Zone tool here. Click on here, move down, and then simply drag it, and you'll see that it turns green when it no longer overlaps. I actually want it to be right on top, so I'll move down to there exactly. If you click 3D, you'll see that now we have again one floor on top of another, and click OK. But you see in the plan view I still don't see the bottom layer now, so I can only see the top. We can change this by configuring a shadow layer. We right click on layer 2, configure shadow layer. We need to make the shadow layer visible, We then select the shadow layer that we want to see, and we only have one of those for this building, so click on that and click OK. And you'll now see in the two-dimensional view that the other layer is visible beneath it, and you can move on to do adjacency calculations and finish your project. So thank you for your interest in Carbon Checker, and if you need more information, please visit our website.